Hello and welcome. This is Mouse Gunner, and we're back with some more Xenonauts. We just finished a mission recovering a enemy UFO, a downed enemy UFO, which is our second one in a very short period of time. And the result of that mission, we actually have a lot of injured soldiers now. One looked like he was lost, but fortunately we revived him after the battle. And he is now in critical condition. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that leaves us situationally as far as our troops. So we have two that are seriously wounded, cannot be used for a number of days. But we also have a number of soldiers, it looks like another 1, 2, 3, 4, which is quite a lot, that are injured in some capacity and are not ready for full action. They're going to be limited in some way because of these injuries. And doing the math here, how many soldiers do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we have 2 seriously wounded and 4 injuries. That means we only have 4 soldiers that are not injured ready for the next mission. And we can't just wait around and hope that we recover a couple of them. Because in theory, we could recover Nikita here and Anna in maybe a short period of time, maybe a day or two. But it's probably a good idea at this point to hire more soldiers. Now, one thing I did in between missions, just really quickly as I was looking around at things, I did hire some engineers. But I just hired them, so they're not going to arrive for a period of time. So I hired 5 more engineers to get us to max capacity. So we can see here, I have 5 engineers on the way, and that will, when they arrive, fill up the all of the space in the workshop. The reason I'm doing that is because shortly we should get the Hunter Scout car unlocked, so we'll be able to build one of those, and I want to have one of those as soon as possible. And then the high-speed interceptors will come right after that. So those are a couple things I'm going to want to build. Now, as far as the living space goes for our base, with those 5 personnel hired, we'll use up 40 of our 70 capacity. I'm probably going to want to hire another 10 to 15 scientists when the lab here gets built. So that's going to bring us up to 55, leaving us another 15. We're definitely not going to use that many on just soldiers. Probably I'm only going to hire a couple. So let's go ahead and hire some soldiers here. Now they're going to be privates, which is the lowest of the ranks in the game. And I'm going to give a priority to action units, as I tend to like to have good action unit allotments for my troops. Now this soldier here has good action units, decent strength considering that most of my troops have in the 40s of strength, which has really been impeding my progress in my opinion. But terrible accuracy and not the greatest reflexes, but pretty brave, so we're not going to have that freak out like we had in the last mission. So this might be a good pickup. We just have to worry about the accuracy. This could be a good candidate for a shield. Low accuracy isn't, I think, as big of a factor because he's going to be doing more close range combat. And, yeah, you know, he's at least taking shots for the rest of his teammates. And that bravery is good for that, as well as the strength for being able to lug that shield around. So I think I am going to take Zed Soren here. And one other person. Ralph here has a decent allotment. I would say decent stats across the board. So 57, 61, 56. Yeah, the only real bad stat is reflexes, which, But I'm not really seeing another candidate that really seems a lot better. Like, for instance, Kate Thompson here seems decent stat-wise until you get to the reflexes and bravery, and then it really goes down. And that bravery stat being that low, I kind of worry about that. Otherwise, I would say a lot of these other guys have some major flaws. Now, we could just hire this one soldier and get a refresh of the troops here. But I like Ralph Frederick here. Seems like a good trooper, so I'll take him as well. And as you can see, it refreshes so we get another couple soldiers to look at. So this guy here seems pretty decent. And then Violet here. Okay and everything except accuracy and action points. And you already know how I feel about action points and how I feel like that's one of the more important stats for a trooper to have. Now, Pietro here has really good stats here and decent stats across the board. Again, we have strength being in the 40s and the accuracy is in the 40s as well. But these are privates. They're going to be not that great. Usually, there's going to be some deficiencies. I'm tempted to take Pietro here. I mean, it's not really a bad thing to take some of these troops. As we could always, when we build another base, send them off. And at least this gives them a chance for training. You know, I like the stats of Violet to the point that I think I'm going to end up taking her. Because the only real deficiency she has is action points and accuracy. Which I think we can overcome with experience. So I think I'm going to take both of these guys as well. So we hired 4 troopers. And more than likely, we're going to set them up to be in the next mission so they get experience. As that is a real problem in this game. If you just keep using the same squad over and over and over again, yes, they ramp up experience and rank. But then you have a problem where if you lose casualties, they're more or less unrecoverable because the only people you can replace them with are privates. And that is an issue for sure. All right, so let's go back to the manage soldier screen. So those privates are going to take a little while to get here, which, again, is a real problem. If we have another mission right after this one, we're going to be in a bit of trouble. So there's nothing we can do except wait. Especially waiting for Charlie 1 to come back. I don't remember exactly how long it takes for a mission to come back. Now, we're losing a lot of income in the Soviet Union, which is our home base, which is not the best. Now, we gained some income in North Africa, as I think we did at least 2 missions there, and we are gaining some income in Europe, as we did 1 there. Otherwise, it's mostly just losses across the board. So our total estimate here is that we're going to lose 65,000 in our total of close to 3 million in income. Of course, we also have upkeep of almost 1 million there. So, you know, it is what it is. So let's ramp up in speed here. All right, so we got the Hunter Scout car. So we can start building that right away. And this is honestly a great addition to our team. First off, we don't need to carry as many soldiers on each trip. And also, the scout car is great, especially for night missions. And locating the enemy aliens. The downside is it can't assault into the UFO. It can't go inside buildings. Urban environments are a real issue as it really limits its mobility. So I think the next thing I'm going to try and research here is the alien alloys. And we only have 5 men to get on that subject. This is where we're going to really want to get the more scientists going. And, oh, we do want to build that. It's a good thing that it reminded us. So we want to get on building this immediately. We only need 1, honestly. And we have 10 engineers. Hopefully when the 5 more engineers come, we can put them on that and speed up the finish time of 4 days. Because the sooner we get this, the better. And now it's just a waiting game. All right, so the laboratory is finished. So we're going to want to immediately hire a bunch of researchers. And I think I'm going to go max capacity here, as we do have a lot of projects to cover. Now, this is going to cost a lot of money in hiring costs and a lot of money in wages. But it's worth it. And we only have living space for 11 more personnel, which we should be fine with that amount. And now hasn't yet calculated our upkeep because we haven't actually received the personnel. When that occurs, I think our upkeep will go up. And again, mostly just waiting here. All right, so we've gained our 4 soldiers and our 5 engineers. So let's go to the base. And first go to the workshop. And now we've sped that project up a little bit. Honestly, though, it was going to finish in 2 days here, and then we've kind of getting close to having that amount of time. And, all right, our troops. Well, we still have a lot of wounded here. Actually, it's kind of gone down. We have 2 injured and 1 seriously wounded and unusable soldier here. But for certain, I want to use all the privates in my next mission. So I'm going to assign all of them. And I could go with a unit of, like, corporals to go along with them. But for now, I think I'm just going to unassign everybody and kind of make up my mind here on who I'm going to send on the next mission. Keeping in mind that we're a little over a day away from getting the Hunter Scout car, which is going to affect our team. So I'm just going to assign the privates for now. And maybe 2 other members, because the Hunter Scout car will take up 2 slots. And normally, my dropship can only carry 8 soldiers, so if the Hunter Scout car takes up 2, that only gives us 6 that we can use. So, who would we want to take? Well, I think we're going to want support personnel, as these guys are not the best in accuracy numbers. I mean, the only guy that has more than 50 is Ralph here. Everybody else is below that. So we're going to want somebody that has really decent accuracy numbers. Oh, we finally do have somebody that's above 70 strength, too, so that's good. Looks like Minoru here is our best accuracy person. I don't know if I necessarily want to take him. I think I'm going to take Katrina here and assign her. I know she's still injured, but I'm hoping by the time this team needs to be active, she'll be okay. And I want to take 1 other person. And again, I want somebody that's going to be a support to the privates. So, somebody that's probably pretty mobile. They could do, well, maybe the privates should be doing the assault role, though, to ensure that they get good experience. So maybe we will take Minora and just change his role. Alternatively, we could take somebody that needs a real an upgrade. Like, for instance, Lucas here is kind of lacking in stats outside of reflex and bravery. Or Sophia here. You know, I think I'm going to go with the trying to get these guys experience. So I'm going to go with people that are a little bit lacking in stats, maybe. So Sophia, I think, is going to be assigned. So this is going to be kind of our B-list, maybe even C-list team. But we need to get these guys experience so that we have a future. Okay. I think we're good for now. So let's go ahead and wait some more. And hopefully, honestly, this period of inactivity is good for me, as it allows me to heal up my soldiers as well as get that Hunter Scout car out. And there it is. So let's go to the vehicle. All right, now the Hunter Scout car, you can either have it equipped with machine guns, or you can actually change its armament to a rocket launcher. Now, I don't want to take the rocket launcher because I don't think there's a threat that warrants that at the moment. And if I blow stuff up, I'm not recovering artifacts, which is a way that I get income and research possibilities. So the Hunter Scout car here counts as a unit, but it doesn't count as a soldier, so it doesn't gain experience or anything like that. It just pretty much has these base stats here of accuracy, reflexes, and time units. It's got really poor reflexes. It usually doesn't react, but it's got decent accuracy. But the weapon it uses is really low accuracy potential, but it is a machine gun, so it fires a lot of shots. So it's good on suppression. But it is actually surprisingly very effective, and because this is an armored vehicle, it can deal with the enemy aliens pretty well, at least at the moment, while they don't have heavier weaponry. As long as they just have small arms, the Hunter Scout car can do pretty well. And this is why this is so valuable. Not only does it go out and scout for you, but it also can absorb any damage, so if it encounters an alien, that alien will shoot at it, you get an idea of where the alien is, and you're not losing a trooper possibly in that encounter. Alright, so that being said, we now have to set up our dropship. And we also want to assign this, of course, Charlie 1. So let's set up our dropship here. Now, it likes to do this. It likes to put the Hunter Scout car in the back here. But we can easily just move it forward. And again, we haven't equipped our soldiers yet. Which might be something that I do off camera. Or we could do it now, honestly. So let's look at our team and set it up so that we're ready for our next engagement here. Let's also take a look at our research and how it's going. So we expect to have the high-speed interceptor done soon, which I was kind of hoping it would be done before the Hunter Scout car was finished so that we could immediately start production on one of those. As we do have an empty hangar slot available, and the high-speed interceptors that we'll get are valuable for later on when we start encountering bigger and faster spaceships. Because eventually, the UFOs we encounter will outrun the current aircraft that we have. So we need to upgrade. The problem is, the ones that we're facing now are very agile, and the current aircraft we have are very good at dealing with those. So we'll gain the high-speed interceptor, which will allow for the future, but it doesn't necessarily address our needs for now. But it is what it is. Okay, with that being said, let's go ahead and look at the squad and figure out what we want to do here. So we have Sophia here, which has terrible accuracy, and frankly, just about everybody else outside of Katrina also has pretty terrible accuracy. So more than likely, we'll keep Katrina as our sniper. And probably what I'll do is I'll keep Sophia as a shield. I'll turn Zed Soren here into a shield. I'll make Ralph a rifleman, and I'll make Pietro and Violet here assaults. So I think that's what I'm going to do as far as the equipment of my soldiers. So, as I said, I'm going to keep her as a sniper. I'm going to keep her as a shield. Ralph is going to be the rifleman like he is already set up to be. I am going to add on a little bit of equipment here, though, as he can carry more than he currently has. We'll give him a flash, and that's good for him. Okay, moving on to the next person. So we're going to make him a shield, and then just give him equipment beyond what he has. And maybe another flash here, because the shields, I think, really need those. Okay. And moving on to the next, we have, which I was going to make an assault. Not the best accuracy, but honestly, the assault guys, they need to be right on top of anyone to get any kind of accuracy anyway, so I'm okay with this guy being an assault, and I think it is a necessary thing to have on your squad. We're really lacking in long-range firepower here, though. The only real long-range threat that we have is, well, we have 2 longer-range soldiers, but I think the assaults are important, so I like to take them on. We'll give him a flash, and then we have one more, and we're going to make her a shield as well. And give her, not a shield, an assault. And give her a flash and a smoke and another flash. What the hey? There we go. So I think we're ready for any combat that comes. And our current distribution, making sure we've equipped everybody, I think it's pretty good. So we've got 2 shields, 2 assaults, a rifleman, and a sniper. So we've got our long-range punch here, close in for the assault as the the role states, and then our cover for the assault, the 2 shields. All right. I think that's a good setup for what we have as far as soldiers. So let's go back to the geoscape here. But before I do that, I'm actually going to conclude the video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner signing out.